Yesterday class, what were we discussing? We were discussing about orbital speed. I gave you, see, if you are not convenient with those derivations and all that, you have to remember few formulas. First is the force formula, orbital speed, then we will talk about escape speed, escape velocity. 3-4 formula are there which you should know to solve the problems. Very simple. So knowing derivation helps you for doing some other type of questions. But basically you should remember these formula. Okay. So when I am giving you the formula, you should write in a paper, in your notebook, and keep revising them. So direct questions will come in Maharashtra set, which directly you can answer. Derivation, why I am telling means you should be able to understand the method. For little deeper level questions, they will be helping you. So yesterday we have seen that orbital speed V0 is equal to Gm by R. What is this small r? This is the Earth. There is a satellite, a man-made satellite, artificial satellite, which is rotating in a particular orbit. So this, from here to here, it is r, small r. Small r is usually a varying distance. Distance which changes, we denote by small r. Capital R is used for the radius of the Earth, and the height above the ground is small h. Alright. Now look at this equation. So suppose, can I write like this? Gm by, I will multiply with this r, it becomes r square. I will take 1 r in the numerator. Okay? Can you identify this term? Is it not small g? Small g is equal to capital G m by r square. Remember? So this is our acceleration due to gravity. Another way of writing the same equation. So this becomes gr. Orbital speed is equal to under root gr. What is that r? It is the radius of the orbit. It is the radius of the orbit taken from the center of the Earth. Okay? So just write down. When I am telling, because we are simultaneously recording also, no? So important formula, you note it down. Again I am going to post this in that YouTube. So it will be available there also for permanent viewing purpose. Okay. Here you understand that this is our Earth and some satellite is rotating around the Earth. Okay. Suppose in the question they say Jupiter is there. So will the procedure change? No. This capital G, understand, in the entire universe the value is constant. Whether you take in Jupiter, whether you take in Mars, whether you take in Venus, anywhere, this capital G value is constant. What is changing is this small g value is changing. In Earth it is G, in Moon it is G by 6. Okay? So, suppose in the question they give you some Jupiter is there, some satellite is rotating around about it in particular orbit, then if you want to find out there what is the orbital speed, you basically have to put the value of G of Jupiter multiplied by R. So how do you find G of Jupiter? The formula remains the same. The formula remains the same. The G m by R square was the formula. So G of Jupiter will be G, which is a universal constant, multiplied by m of J. For Earth you are putting m of Earth, which is 6 into 10 to the power of 24. In the case of Jupiter, they will give you the mass of the Jupiter in the question. G m of J divided by R square. Here this is, look here, one thing, this R is R plus H now. Basically it is R plus H. Okay? So how do you find out the value of G means? G m by R square. This is the R value of the Jupiter, R value of the Earth. If you want to find out the value of Jupiter, you have to put mass of Jupiter by radius of Jupiter. Okay? Radius of Jupiter square. Okay, on the surface of Jupiter, what is the value of G means you have to calculate like this. Okay, so here actually what are we doing? G m by small r I am writing. Okay, so here I am you should write r plus h only. Okay, so suppose if it is on the surface, h becomes equal to 0. If it is on the surface, h becomes equal to 0, then you can write in terms of g into r. See, it is like this. In the denominator you are putting r plus h, no? In the denominator you are putting r plus h. Suppose h is very small compared with r. H is very small compared with r. H is, let us say, 2 kilometers or 5 kilometers. R value is how much? 6,400 kilometers. So h is very incomparable when compared with r. So in that situation you can write root over gr. Clear? Okay. This was the basic formula which we have derived earlier. Okay. G m by, just refer your notes. G m by r plus h. Yesterday I have done that. If you want to write in terms of small g, what I have done is I have multiplied and divided by r. So you are going to get the value of g. But here I am making an assumption that h is negligible when compared with capital R. Okay? H is negligible when compared with capital R. You will get close about value. Suppose h value is also given very large value. H is given as 1000 km. 1000 km is comparable with 6400 km, isn't it? But if I give you h 10 kilometers, 10 km is not comparable with 6400 kilometers. In that case, you can use this formula root over gr. Clear? Am I very clear? So understand. Suppose h value is given as 1000 kilometers. Orbital speed will use this equation. H is given very small value, 20 kilometers. You can use this equation. Clear now? Yes. So on some other planet you want to calculate, you have to just calculate this g value. Suppose a satellite is flying at a height of 100 kilometers above Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter radius is much bigger compared with the Earth. Alright, so there you can find out the value of Gj and you can use the same formula. Clear? So this is one thing, just make a note. You want to take some time to write down? I'll just pause it. Alright, so when we talk about energy now, we'll talk about little bit of energy. Obviously when we are talking about energy, we are talking about the mechanical energy. How many types of energy are there? Kinetic energy and potential energy, total energy. Total energy is potential energy plus kinetic energy. This we have seen in our earlier classes also. Now what is the energy possessed by a satellite? Suppose a body is there, a satellite is there, which is rotating around the Earth. Suppose you have taken a missile and you want to send it outside the gravitational field of the Earth. So how much velocity is needed? Suppose I take this pen and I throw it above, it will fall back. But if I give certain speed to this, such a speed that it escapes the Earth's gravitational field, then it will not return back. That speed is called escape velocity. So basically the situation is like this. This is your Earth. Alright? All around it, up to a maximum extent, let us say I am just drawing by this line. This is the influence of the gravitational field. Beyond this point you go, the object will experience weightlessness, let us say. So in this region, the Earth, the object will experience gravity. That means the object will come back to Earth. If it is here, it will come towards the center of the Earth. If it is here, it will come to the center of the Earth. It is not always vertically down, okay? Wherever the object is, it will try to return to the Earth because of gravity. But you gave such a velocity that it exceeded this line, imaginary line. Now it is here, the missile is here, let us say. The satellite is here. Will it come back? No. it will not come back. So as long as the object is in the gravitation field, it will come back to Earth. And this gravitational field is not just for Earth. Even Jupiter has its own gravitational field. Mars has its own gravitational field. Every object has a gravitational field. But we talk about gravitational field of larger bodies, larger planets. This chalk also has a gravitational field. But we will not be talking about that because it has a small mass. Okay. Now, suppose there is a satellite which is over here. Okay, at a distance of small r from the center of the Earth. So in our previous classes we have seen that how to calculate the potential energy of this satellite. What was the formula? U is equal to minus G m by r. Just refer your notes. The potential energy of a body which is in the gravitational field is given by the expression U is equal to minus G capital M small m by r. What is this capital M? It is the mass of the Earth. What is the small mass? It is the body which you have projected there. It can be a satellite. It can be a satellite. It can be anything. Right? What is this R? R is the distance from the center to that particular object. Okay? So this is the energy. And what is the kinetic energy possessed by it? Kinetic energy is given by half mv square. Half mv square. Correct? Now let us say this satellite is here. That means it is in some orbit. The satellite will be rotating like this now. Isn't it? Satellite won't be coming like this and going like this now. It won't be going like this now. Satellite will be rotating in some particular orbit. Then what is this V? V is the orbital speed. Orbital speed we have just calculated now. So what is that? Half m v square. So it is gm by r. It is root over gm by r. But because there is a square here, it becomes gm by r. So what is the value? It is gmm by 2r. This is the kinetic energy. Remember, the kinetic energy is always positive. The kinetic energy is always positive. Why? Because the mass cannot be a negative term. Mass cannot be a negative term, and it is v square. Square of anything is always positive. Okay? So you see here, what is the total energy now? Total energy is T is equal to U plus K. T is equal to potential energy at this point plus kinetic energy at that point. So add these two. You can see here it is minus gmm by r plus gmm by 2r. Right? So can I take gmm by r common? I will take even minus common. So I will get 1 minus 1 by 2. Am I right? So 1 minus 1 by 2 is 1 by 2. You are finally getting an expression gmm by r for the total energy. Okay? Sorry, 2r. Gmm, 1 minus 1 by 2 is 1 by 2. In the denominator will be 2. So gmm by 2r is the expression to calculate the total energy of a satellite at a particular point above the Earth, but the condition is that it should be under the influence of the gravitational field. Okay? Observe here, this value is negative. Alright? This potential energy value also is negative. I have told you that potential energy, what happens is, at the Earth's surface, the potential value is 0, right? And when you go very far off place, look at this number system. Earth's surface, it is 0, it is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, so on and so forth, up till infinity. So at a very large space, what is the value? At a very large space, basically the value is 0. Okay. Now, this potential energy is negative. The total energy also is negative. So, can I say like this? In a particular question, they have given you that the energy possessed by the orbit, the particular satellite is some minus 5000 joules. That means it is still under the influence of gravitational field. Can I make that assumption? Because the total energy is negative, alright. So, it is still under the influence of Earth's gravitational field. Okay? This is one point. So, write down this expression. You should know the expression for this. You should know this. Look here. Now, this is the total energy of the satellite at this particular altitude, right? Some energy, some 50,000 minus 50,000 joules, let us say. Sometimes they ask you a question, how much additional energy should be provided so that it escapes the Earth's gravitational field? Understood? So, basically what you have to do is, see, if it has to escape the Earth's gravitational field, the condition is that what will be the total energy at this point which is beyond the Earth's gravitational field? The total energy here will be 0. The total energy beyond the Earth's gravitational field is 0. Okay. So, right now it is here and it possesses this much of energy. You have to take this satellite from here to here. It should escape the Earth's gravitational field. So, how much energy should be provided? It is presently having minus 50,000 joules. So, how much should be provided? 50,000 joules should be provided. Add these two, then it will become 0. Correct? That means the additional energy that should be provided for a satellite or a body to escape the Earth's gravitational field, additional energy I am talking, will be opposite of this. Correct? Will be opposite of this. What is this? This is additional energy. Because you see, when you solve questions, they will ask this type of questions. How much additional energy should be provided for the satellite so that it escapes the Earth's gravitational field? Means, what is the additional energy? Here. Clear? Clear now? Just write down. Just write this point. Now we will see escape velocity. Shall I remove it? Just quickly write down. See here. Most of the people favorite topic, escape velocity. Whenever you talk about this gravitation chapter, people will first ask about escape velocity. That is our fantasy, you know. Now, just now I told you a concept that if you make somehow you make an object escape the Earth's gravitational field, what is the total energy possessed in that space? 0, right? So, for finding escape velocity, what is the condition? Total energy is equal to 0. This is the condition which will help you finalize what is the escape speed. So, total energy is equal to 0. But what is total energy? It is U plus K is equal to 0. Correct? So, U is minus Gmm by R. Always remember, when you are calculating this potential energy, in the denominator you will not get R square, you will get R. When you are calculating force, you get R square. Look at this denominator, when you are calculating force, you get R square. When you are calculating potential energy, you get R. Remember that, okay? So, plus, let us say from the Earth's surface, you have projected a missile or a satellite with some speed. Okay? Let that speed be VE, escape speed. So, mass into VE square. So this satellite which is going like this, it is having some speed, right? So that speed is how much? VE. These 2 is equal to 0, correct? Now, someone will come and say, when you are projecting this missile or a satellite, Earth, air resistance is there now. Air also is offering some resistance. So here we are making an assumption, we are ignoring that air resistance. We are ignoring that air resistance. When this missile is going like this, obviously it is full of air. Air also will try to obstruct. So you are not considering that into effect. So here in our discussion, we are ignoring the effect of air resistance is equal to 0. So what is this M? M is the mass of the satellite and capital M is the mass of the Earth. So now just simplify this, mm cancel. So this becomes V square by 2 is equal to Gm by R, or V is equal to 2 Gm by R root over. Clear now? 2 Gm by R. What is R here? R is equal to R plus H. R is equal to R plus H. Suppose you want to introduce this small g, what you will do here? You will do root over 2 into 2 Gm by R square into R square. Okay? By R. Can I write it like this? Can I write it like this? So this becomes, this value is your small g. So 2g and 1 R square is there. R is coming out. Exactly, you are actually getting like this. 2 into g by R into capital R. Where the small r I am saying that it is R plus H. The small r I am saying it is R plus H. Is the calculation correct? Gm by R square. Okay. Or rather, see, at this point we have, you don't have to write like this. Look here. Just think. We have done this finding this g value at altitude, at the surface of the earth, at depth and all that. So what was the concept there? Suppose this is your earth. You are finding the g value here, and let us say this distance is small r. So what is the g value at this particular point? Is it not Gm by R square? Yes or no? Between these 2 points, how you are finding out the g value? Basically, the force between these two is, let us say this is the mass of the earth, m1 m2 g m1 m2 by r square, no? So this is g capital M small m by r square. So F is equal to m into g, you write. So this term you are just writing as mg. So here we can do one thing, gm by r square into r, right? I multiplied the numerator and denominator by r value. So this value is your g. Now this g is not the g at the surface of the earth. This g value is the g value at this location. It is not 9.8. It is less than 9.8. We have seen that when you are going altitude wise, the g value reduces, right? So this becomes root over 2gr. So escape speed is root over 2gr. Orbital speed is root over gr. Same argument you can apply in the orbital speed also. Orbital speed also, when I was writing, this orbital speed, we have written gm by r now. So you just write it gm by r square into r. So this term will become g, same argument. Okay. So the orbital speed is root over gr and the escape speed is root over 2gr. Which is more? Escape speed is more. But remember, this g value is the g value at that altitude. That should be very clear. Now, this when you calculate the escape speed of any satellite on this from the surface of Earth, it is 11.2 kilometers per second. This value you should remember. Escape velocity from the surface of the Earth is 11.2 kilometer per second. You can see in 1 second it is traveling 11.2 kilometers. That much speed you should give, then only it will escape the Earth's gravitational field. So the escape velocity from the surface of the Jupiter, is it 11.2? No. You have to do the same procedure, but here only difference is when you are writing this, g value remains same only, but here mass of the Jupiter you should put. Mass of the Jupiter you should put. And this small r, what is this small r? Small r is equal to r plus h, right? Small r is equal to r plus h, whether you project from the Jupiter or whether you project from the Earth. But here, when you are calculating on a Jupiter, you should put the Jupiter radius. Okay? So note this small difference. So they will ask questions to find escape velocity on Jupiter. So the procedure is not different. The procedure remains same, only the values will change. Okay? Make a note of this. Alright. See, when you are calculating speed, it will be in one of these category only. Right? You have two critical points, root over gr, that is your orbital speed. That means the satellite is rotating in a particular orbit. So what is the guarantee that it will rotate in the particular orbit? That also we have to see. On which condition it will fall back to Earth, on which condition it will escape. All those things we are tabulating. So the first condition, if the velocity is less than root over gr. See, if the velocity was equal to root over gr, it will continuously rotate in that orbit only. Correct? Would you agree? If the velocity was root over gr, obviously small r, it would have been continuously rotating in that orbit only. But if the velocity is less than root over gr, what will happen? It doesn't have that necessary speed, so it will fall back to the Earth. Clear? Now, the second condition, velocity is equal to root over gr. Already explained. If it is exactly equal to velocity, orbital speed, it will continue rotating in that orbital speed only, orbit only. That means this is your Earth. It is in an orbit which is 500 kilometers above the Earth. So it is rotating around the Earth in that orbit, right? So in this orbit there is some particular speed. If it is maintaining that speed, it will forever keep rotating in that orbit only, unless otherwise the fuel is over. Clear now? A third condition, there can be a situation that the velocity is more than gr but less than 2 gr. Third possibility, whatever speed you have given, it is more than the orbital speed but less than the escape speed. So first point, whether it will escape the Earth's gravitational field? No, because the velocity is less. Let us say the velocity was 9 kilometer per second. Let us say 11.2 kilometer per second is the escape speed. If you are giving that speed, it will escape into that null space, zero gravity. Okay, but the speed is less here. What will happen? The speed is more than the orbital speed, but less than the escape velocity. It will actually follow a elliptical path. See, when this speed is exactly matching with the orbital speed, the satellite goes in a circular path. The satellite goes in a circular path. When the speed is exactly this orbital speed, now this is a circular path. Clear? Suppose the velocity is more than this speed, it will go like a anda. Clear now? Difference understood? If it is exactly this speed, it will go in a circular path. If it is slightly more than that, it will not go in a circular path. It will take a elliptical path. Okay? But will it escape into space? No. Because the speed is not sufficient. Next condition, if velocity is equal to root over 2gr, it will escape into space. It will simply escape into space. That is, I have drawn the previous diagram, you know. Remember that diagram? I have drawn this imaginary diagram. This is your earth. Let us say this is the extent of your gravitational field. When you give this escape velocity, it will just pass over. It will just pass over. Suppose you give speed which is more than the escape velocity, it will escape into space and it will take a hyperbola path. Hyperbola and these things you come across basically in your mathematics. Any objective question comes, because some are bio students here, any objective question comes, you should know. In the option they will say elliptical path. Elliptical means like a anda, egg. Hyperbola is a different shape. So these conditions you should know. Okay? And why it has come also I have explained to you. Just write down this. It is important. Questions are frequently asked on this. Okay? You should know these conditions. See, I am doing one of the questions of this. It says a body of mass 5 kg is taken into space. Its mass becomes. 4 options are given. Okay? 4 options are given. 5 kg, 10 kg, 2 kg, 15 kg. What is he saying? A body of mass 5 kilograms. This is in the earth right now. It is taken into space. That means it has escaped the earth's gravitational field. So there, what is the mass of the same body? Can anyone answer? 2 kg. 2 kg. Any other answer?
5 kg.
It is 5 kg only. Sit down. Mass isn't, see, understand the difference between force. When you talk about weight, weight is a force. Weight is a force. So suppose I ask you what is your weight. So if a person weight is 70 kilos, he is standing on earth. Let us say the G value is 10, it is 700 Newton. It is not like our regular weight. How much is your weight? 70 kilos. That is not weight. In the language of physics, it is mass only. Okay. So what is mass? Mass is the constituent of that particular substance. You take an iron piece is made up of small iron pieces. So basically when you take that, you take it anywhere. You take it on Jupiter, you take it on Mars, you take it in somewhere. It will remain same only, no? What will change? The force will change, the weight will change. So the answer to this question is 5 kg only. So like this they test. Okay? Just make a note of this. I am going to another question. It says a missile is launched with a velocity less than the escape velocity. Okay? A missile is launched with a velocity which is less than the escape velocity. The sum of its kinetic and potential energy is. Okay? Options are given. You tell me which is correct. First is positive, second is negative, third is 0, and fourth is maybe positive or negative depending upon its initial velocity. Can you think and tell me what is the answer? question is, an object is projected into space, but with how much with a velocity less than the escape velocity. Then you tell me what is the total energy. That's what he has asked. The sum of kinetic energy plus potential energy. That is total energy. He is asking you whether it is positive, negative, 0. Yeah, tell me. Yeah, it is negative. Okay? It is negative. It is never positive. It becomes 0 if it is escaping into space. He says that may be positive or negative depending upon its initial velocity. See, I told you that when a body is projected into, we are trying to project into space, okay, but it is still in the gravitational field, the total energy is given by minus gmm by r. I told you there is a minus value always, okay. So if it is having a minus, do you see any velocity component here in this expression? Are you seeing any initial speed, final speed, any velocity component is there? So this type of option they give you to confuse you. So the answer to this question is option 2. Okay. Let us move to the next one. A gravitational field is present in a region. Okay. A point mass is shifted from A to B along different paths shown in the figure. If W1, W2, W3 represent the work done by the gravitational field or gravitational force for the respective paths, then see, just given a diagram like this. There is a point A, there is a point B. This is one path, this is another path, and this is path 1, this is path 2, and this is path 3. Okay? While doing path 1, W1 work is done. Obviously, when you are taking object from here to here, some amount of work is done. W1 for path 2, W2 for path 3, W3. Then he is asking you which of the following options is correct. So the first option is W1 is equal to W2 is equal to W3. Second is W1 greater than W2 greater than W3. Third, W1 greater than W3 greater than W2. And fourth is nota. What is nota? None of the above. These days when you are trying to cast a vote also they are putting a nota option. So understood the question? Now this A and B are in the influence of a gravitational field. Okay? And from A to B an object has been moved in 3 different parts. In the first part, let us say the work done is W1, second part work done is W2, and third part it is W3. And they are under the influence of gravitational force. That means F is equal to mg, I am saying. Okay. So, what do you think is the right answer? Tell me one thing, I will give you a hint. Now this is the surface of the earth. There is a building here. Okay. There is a block on the ground. I pick this block and I put it over here. This height is h. What is the potential energy here? Potential energy is equal to mgh. Correct? Now, suppose I bring it like this. I bring it like this. I bring it like this. Is your potential energy changing? Potential energy stored in an object basically is the work done on it. Okay? Now, this gravitational force, you should understand one concept. It is a conservative force. It is a conservative force. Conservative force means it is independent of the path taken. Independent of the path taken. This is the concept you should know to solve this question. A gravitational force is a conservative force. It does not depend upon. See, when you are putting mgh, is it not gravitation force only? No, mg is a gravitation force. So work done is mgh. So it is not dependent upon the path. So all three work will be same only. Option 1 is the right answer. So this concept they have tested in this question. So with this